Hello, my name is Dale Wilhite, live in Mountain Village, Colorado, and I'm going to pitch a concept here that deals with inmate abuse in foreign countries. And here is my solution to help reduce the number of abusive inmates in foreign countries, although it'll be very slight. But the reason why I'm pitching this idea is I'm trying to help our fellow Americans who do get in trouble with other nations and commit a crime or accused of committing a crime, who go to prison and end up getting tortured and beaten, especially in these certain countries around the world like Saudi Arabia, Iran, your Turkey, although I don't think Turkey is as bad as it used to be. It can be pretty brutal and sometimes cost you your life. So, my idea is relatively simple. The United States government needs to enter a treaty with other nations around the world in which they would agree to send back American citizens who have been convicted of crimes in their countries to serve out the time here in the United States. Now, it doesn't mean it will be every nation in the world. It just means it would be certain nations that the United States and human rights organizations consider to be very abusive to their inmate populations, including foreigners. In some of these countries, if we had a treaty with them, especially if they're getting financial aid from us, I'm sure they would be more than happy to get these Americans off their hands because it's cheaper for them in the long run. And what we get out of it, we can bring these Americans home. They will serve their time here at our expense, unfortunately. But we're saving them from possible torture and death. Now, of course, that doesn't mean it can't happen here. The prison systems here, even though I've never been in one, can be very brutal themselves. But in some countries, it's 10 times worse than what it is here. And it's just a very simple concept. It might be your loved one, it might be a friend of yours that gets arrested or has been arrested. And whether they're guilty or not, you just love to see them back in the United States where you can at least talk to them maybe. And where our laws don't really allow for our prisoners, inmates, to be tortured like that. So, if you like the concept, again, it's not perfect. It's got flaws in it. We do, in some ways, sometimes have Americans who are convicted in other nations of a crime, who go to prison, brought back to the United States to serve time, but not as a national policy. This would be a humane thing for the Obama administration to do, and a humane thing for this country to do. And that's what needs to be done. And if you like the idea, pitch it to your congressional representative and make sure they get the message. Just don't send an email or let it go. You've got to really demand a reply and know that they got it. And maybe we can make it reality, and you can have a part in helping reduce, even though it's slight, the number of inmate abuse, especially Americans in foreign nations, bring it down some. It's not perfect, but it's something. And again, it's the first step that might lead to something better. That's the way these things work. It may be a small step now, but it might lead to something larger. Because I think we all agree that abusing anybody that's incarcerated is a sin, and it's just downright evil, and it should be unlawful. But we can help our fellow Americans, again, whether they're guilty or not, no matter what crime they've committed, to get a better deal by coming back here rather than being left alone in some foreign hole somewhere where they're tortured and sometimes raped and sometimes killed. It's as simple as that. Thank you for your time, and I hope you'll pitch this idea to your congressional representative.